Guys, we need to talk about the new image from the Superman movie. Look at this Fortress of Solitude. What a perfect thing. It's absolute genius, magnificent. And look, I don't know if you're aware, but if they're releasing an official image of the movie to major sites, it means the trailer is coming. It was the same pattern they used when that extended scene from the movie came out. I wonder if the trailer is coming this week or maybe next week. Well, let's talk about that and also discuss a bit more about the Peacemaker series, because I heard a lot of people discussing the special appearances of Hawkgirl and Green Lantern, because if they're in the trailer, you can't exactly say they will be the big cameos in the series. So this opens up a possibility for us to have some special cameo from another DC superhero. Some people are betting that Superman might show up in one of the episodes, and others are also betting on Booster Gold. All right, there's a lot for us to discuss in today's video, but before we start, don't forget to click the like button, comment below, and subscribe for more content like this. Also, follow us on our other social networks, Instagram and Threads. I'll keep you updated about this universe we love so much. Okay, let's start by talking about this image here of the Fortress of Solitude. It was released by Screen Rant, and as you can see, it's Superman giving Krypto a sort of scolding inside the Fortress of Solitude. And look, when I saw this image, I genuinely felt very happy. It put a smile on my face because I'm seeing this spectacular setting of the Fortress of Solitude that we've never seen in any live-action Superman movie before. I'm sorry, but this is so beautiful. I have to nerd out here. This staircase is fantastic. And back there is like an old-fashioned computer. I found that really cool. It fits perfectly with Superman's aesthetic. And there are these little robots back there. I don't know if they're just standing still or doing some task, but this place feels so alive. It's so bright and full of life. You know, it seems like such a superhero place. You know, I still don't understand why we don't have more places like this. The Fortress of Solitude has a huge legacy because of Christopher Reeve's version, which is also very cool. It's amazing to see those phenomenal crystals. But I feel that over the years, due to Superman adaptations in cinema, they never really explored this in depth. You know, this more sci-fi aspect of the Fortress of Solitude. And I can't look at this setting and not be amazed or think about the greatness of the future of the DCU. Wow, here I'm going to nerd out really hard, but if all the settings in the DCU, like all the heroes' bases, are at this level, perfectly interpreted with the essence of comics, then the DCU is going to blow up big time. But I would bet my life that it will blow up big time. I look at this and imagine that the Batcave is going to be on another level. This is almost a Batcave already. If you stop to think about it, there's like this staircase similar to that of the Batcave. And back there with those little robots, there are like costumes. Okay, they aren't Superman's costumes. But then there's this computer that looks like it came out of Batman from the 60s. You know what I mean? What's so hard about making a Batcave with a giant staircase like this one that has tons of cool stuff to look at? What's so difficult? Honestly, I don't understand, but I can see that they really put effort into making this Fortress of Solitude something you look at and think must have been hard to create. It must have been expensive for them to take this elsewhere. And in the case of DC heroes and even Batman, who has had 500 movie adaptations, this is unprecedented. Because Batman has never had a Batcave like in the comics. I think the Batcave closest to the comics was in Batman Returns. It's really cool, but still didn't have the more fantastic elements like in the comics. The layout was perfect, but there weren't many objects. With James Gunn, I feel like we're very close to surpassing all the adaptations of the Fortress of Solitude in cinemas. I haven't even seen the movie yet, and I already think it's the best Fortress of Solitude in history, and honestly, I think it's easy. There's no competition. Of course, Donner's Fortress of Solitude was revolutionary and extremely important for cinema history and for Superman. It was a historical legacy. But honestly, I think this one has already surpassed it. I know you'll say I'm deluded and that it's just a setting for the Fortress of Solitude that isn't anything special. And I know that in the grand scheme of things, it might not mean much, but yeah, seeing that setting like that, the computers, the little computer rooms, the robots walking around, man, that filled me with hope in an incredible and spectacular way. I'm already super hyped for this movie. I'm not just talking about the movie specifically. I'm talking about the aesthetic part of this universe that still has a lot to prove with other films. You know, the aesthetic of Batman, the aesthetic of Wonder Woman, the aesthetic of Green Lanterns, all of this still needs to prove itself. But there's hope because you almost feel certain that when they adapt something, it's going to be amazing, especially Batman. but you can't deny that this Fortress of Solitude is a good template for a Batcave. I can't wait to see James Gunn's Batcave because if it's at this level, I think it's going to be a 10 out of 10. Now let's talk a bit about this trailer issue. Well, we have been discussing the release of Superman's trailer for quite some time now, and according to some insiders, the trailer was supposed to be released sometime between the 13th and 16th this week. Recently, James Gunn confirmed in response to a fan that the trailer is ready. The big difference now is that we have much stronger marketing, like this official image sent to websites, and there's this comparison being made with the release dates from when Barbie came out versus Superman's release date, which aligns roughly with when they'd released the trailer. So it makes a lot of sense for it to be this Tuesday. If not this coming Tuesday, then it will be during the week of the 16th or 20th. But I don't think it will go beyond that. And, well, DC has been holding on to this trailer for quite some time. For example, Fantastic Four is coming out after Superman and already has a trailer. This is part of their strategy. They're really holding back to create hype and keep all expectations on this trailer. The trailer has to be really awesome and should get everyone excited. I can question their strategy. I think they could have released it earlier like Marvel did with Fantastic Four's trailer. But you can't say they don't have a plan. The plan they are following seems somewhat similar to the strategy Warner used for Barbie's movie. In my opinion, they could have released the trailer earlier, but you can't deny that the longer you wait, the higher expectations get for the trailer. It's a strategy I don't fully agree with, but one we've seen work well in the past, and I'm confident it will work. I see many people very hyped for this trailer. I think that when the Superman trailer comes out, it's going to get 20 to 30 million views in a day, and I believe it will perform better than the Fantastic Four trailer. I know this sounds kind of crazy, but I think the hype for Fantastic Four is much lower than that for Superman. However, I also believe that Fantastic Four will make more at the box office, not because of the hype, but due to a factor called Disney. Disney can push for more IMAX screens and more showtimes. For me, this will make a difference when it comes to the final box office numbers. But I feel like there's a bigger hype for Superman, at least within this bubble of people who follow superhero stuff. I see much more expectation around whether Superman will live up to everything because he is Superman and everything he represents, in addition to the importance of this film for the DC Universe compared to Fantastic Four. You know, I have that feeling the hype is definitely rising more and more as they hold back. And it looks like they won't be able to keep the beast contained until next week. Another thing is that since Superman's day, man, we've started to see much more promotion for the products as well. I see way more products on social media every day with something different popping up. Superman is really everywhere now. But what I feel is lacking in marketing is that they should be doing a bit more on social media, you know, with the official accounts pushing and hammering down on Superman every day with something. And also the trailer is taking a while, but I understand that it's part of the strategy. However, I feel like they could be doing more with social media posts. All right, moving on to the last topic. Now that we had the teaser trailer for the second season of Peacemaker, there's been a big discussion about who will be the special cameo of the season. Because in the first season, we had cameos from Flash and Aquaman, and no one knew there would be cameos from Flash and Aquaman. There was a rumor that there could be a cameo from Aquaman. I remember very well that it was even the insider My Time to Shine who ended up getting it right, but there was no leak at all. And I remember nobody really believed this insider was correct. Now, in this new season of Peacemaker, well, we've already had 3 cameos: Maxwell Lord, Green Lantern Guy Gardner, and Hawkgirl Kendra. Do you think James Gunn would spend his ace in the hole on a trailer? I don't think so. They're in the trailer. Yes, they probably are cameos and only appear in that scene, but I don't think they are the secret cameo. That one we should only see at the end of the season. So we already have 3 Superman characters in the Peacemaker series, but could we have a 4th? Could Superman appear at the end of the season? There's also another speculation going around that it might be Booster Gold, because when they were filming Peacemaker, there were those rumors about an actor being cast to play Booster Gold. And Booster Gold kind of fits the vibe that Peacemaker has, you know, that comedy mixed with a lot of drama. They're talking about multiverse stuff. So maybe Booster Gold, who in this universe could be a time traveler, wants to get involved somehow. There's also another factor. This whole Justice Gang team is formed by Maxwell Lord. And in the 80s, when Booster Gold joined the Justice League, it was precisely Maxwell Lord who invited him. So if at the end he chooses a hero as silly as Booster Gold, that would be a great joke on him for not choosing Peacemaker, who is also a bit of a comedic hero, you know? It would be a clever joke to make in the last episode. But that's it, folks. These are definitely just speculations. None of this has been confirmed. But if Booster Gold appears, that would be an indication that an international Justice League might be forming, which is led by Maxwell Lord. If there's going to be a special cameo from Booster Gold, I would really enjoy that. Plus, it could open up a connection for the Booster Gold series, about which we still don't have any updates on production. But it would be really cool to see this character interacting with Peacemaker. All right, everyone. That was everything I wanted to talk to you about. Leave your opinions on all of this in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more content like this. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.